Backchat TV. Subscribe.
He has also talked about it. That left hook is so good, and it's so long and so precise and so hard, but
What's going on, boxing fans? I'm back with another one. It's Backchat TV, and we're going to get straight into this matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Charlo. Apparently it's happening on the 30th of September in Las Vegas. It was kind of unexpected, although there was always talks that, they may want to fight each other. It may happen one day. Charlo said that he wanted to fight Canelo, and at one point they were saying that he was ducking Canelo. This was very early on when Canelo was fighting at like 154, and he had just moved up to take a fight with the hard-hitting Triple G at the time. And so since that time there were talks that it may happen. Some people said that Canelo ducked Charlo on purpose. I don't think he did, to be honest. But that's what some people said. Obviously, we knew that Canelo moved up after beating Triple G. He had a few fights at 160. He moved up to 168. He moved up to 175. So he's moved up quite a lot, Canelo. And I think we have to commend Canelo, whether you're a detractor or you're a fan. I like both fighters. I'm a big fan of both fighters, but I do think Canelo has just done more in his career. Canelo has really tried to be great, and I don't think there's any way someone could disagree with that. And the reason why I'm even saying that in the first place is because Canelo does have some detractors. He does have some people that say that he ducked difficult fighters, and they include Charlo, both Charlos in this, and that a lot of those detractors also kind of ridicule Canelo when he finally did lose to Bivol, and they say, oh, that means he wasn't that good. And they're the same detractors that say in his last fight that he didn't look that good at home in Mexico as well. So there are people out there, fans, mostly casual fans I would say, but a lot of fans that do say Canelo has lost a step, more than a step, and this is the perfect time to beat him. They say that he's not really that good, and his last performances show that he's not really that good. He was a bit of a hype job and things like that. I've heard people say, I'm not one of those detractors. I'm not, one of his greatest supporter or anything, but I am realistic. Canelo has done a lot in the sport, and he is still at the top. Yes, he may be past his best. He could be past his best. But end of the day, the reason why we're saying that is because I think Canelo set such a high bar, basically, which is why we're, anything under what he's achieved, we think he's slipping. But if we just have a little look at what he's achieved, he started off, well, I'm not going all the way back, but his most notable wins, he fought at 154 when he fought Mayweather. Obviously, he lost that fight. He was quite young then. I think he was a teenager, or was he early 20s? Early 20s. Since that loss, he's been an amazing fighter, amazing dedication to the sport. He moved up. Eventually, he fought Triple G. They had that unnecessary trilogy, if you ask me, to be honest. But I mean, he looked good in all of those fights against Triple G, to be honest, and he looked sensational in the last one. He took on so many great fighters, former champions, former, unbeaten champions, the likes of Daniel Jacobs, Caleb Plant at 168. He convincingly knocked out Sergey Kovalev at 175 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. He's moved up to test himself against one of the best fighters, if not the best, at 175 pounds, Bivol. And a lot of people have a lot to say about that because he lost against someone who's a champion at 175 pounds. He is trying to test himself against the best, and he never got knocked out by Bivol. If you think about it, he's fighting a guy who's naturally at 175 pounds, and he lost a unanimous decision, you know, and it was like competitive, even though he lost. So, you know, he had a date for pound, you know, one of the best. So the reason why I'm mentioning all that in relation to this fight is because Canelo's been undisputed, Charlo has been undisputed at 154 pounds, but there is a big difference in the caliber of fighters that Charlo has fought and that Canelo has fought. And I think a lot of people, you know, they're saying, oh, you know, it's 50-50, or some people will say they edge Canelo, but where Charlo's looking better recently, you know, this is true. Charlo definitely has a chance. He's got athleticism, he's got power, you know, he's got skills. But if you look at resume, Canelo is like heads and shoulders above Charlo. This is the honest truth. You know, Canelo has taken flush shots from fighters at 175 pounds and not gone down. I mean, never been dropped. Canelo in his whole career, never been dropped, never really been wobbled, nothing like that. So what makes people think that Charlo, yes, he will be going up 2 weight classes from 154, skipping 160, going straight to 168 pounds where he's never fought before? What makes people think that he's going to be able to hurt Canelo, who has never been dropped, as I said? You know, a guy who is seasoned at this weight, and then it's Charlo coming up to a weight that he's never been at. I know Charlo is naturally a big guy, so he can go up. I think he can fight at 168 pounds, because I think he is 6 foot. So, you know, he can do it, but just because you can do it, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to win. You know what I mean? Experience, I think, will play a really big part in this, and I struggle to see Charlo winning, but it's definitely not impossible. You know, I'd probably make it like a 70-30 in favor of Canelo. I definitely give Charlo a chance with the power and the athleticism alone, and you know, training with Derek James, who I think is the best trainer, training with these great guys in this staple, you know, and regularly sparring with Errol Spence. I think it's going to be tough for anyone, but I don't know, it's going to be really tough. It's hard to really say. I think a few years ago I would say Charlo has not much chance at all, but Canelo is getting older. I think he is a little bit on the decline, and this could be Charlo's perfect time to take him. So that is true. So I will definitely not count out Charlo, and I'm not trying to count him out, but my money will be on Canelo, because I think Charlo's not great at getting out the way of hard punches. He's not great at getting out the way of hard punches. He doesn't have the best defense. And I think if you're going up 2 weight classes to fight a hard puncher like Canelo, you have to have that defense, being the natural smaller guy. You have to, because you won't be able to take the power. So if you don't have defense and you're coming up from a smaller weight and you get hit by someone who's been fighting at 175 pounds, it's not likely to be beneficial. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. I do like Charlo though. If any fight was going to, or any underdog was going to prove me wrong, it would be Charlo in this fight. So I still like the fight and still excited to watch it, but my money would still be very firmly on Canelo. Let me know what you think. There are different skill sets that they both have, but I think you know, the feet, Canelo has slow feet, so if Charlo can keep it moving with that power as well, he definitely has a chance on the back foot, setting Canelo up with a power shot, moving around the ring and setting him up. I definitely think he can do that. He can't sit around and take those body shots, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the fight. I would like to see Charlo do it, because I feel like Charlo has everything to gain and Canelo has everything to lose. If Charlo wins, he's achieved something so great. You can start to talk about him as being a pound-for-pound fighter just because he's beaten. Comments, do you think Charlo has a chance? I'm on to the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of a similar nature.